Welcome to Warden's Word. I'm Dave Breisch, Senior Warden at New Creation Anglican Church. This post is for Wednesday, April 21st. The title for today's post is The Image. Now, when we think about the word image, we might think about a representation, something that represents someone else or something else, such as this cardinal on my sweatshirt, which represents a real bird. And we can think of things such as photographs, sculptures, statues, paintings, stained glass windows, any number of things that represent something or someone else. One thing that all of those have in common are that they are inanimate objects that represent something or someone else. Well, in the Bible, the word image is used quite often, but it's used in a living sense. Let's take a look at Paul's letter to the Romans, chapter 8, verse 29. This is what he says: "Whom God foreknew, he also foreordained to be conformed to the image of his Son, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren." So, God has called people to come into relationship with him through his Son, and those who have responded are to be transformed by God to be the very living image of his Son, the very likeness of his Son. So it's not an inanimate representation that we're talking about, but a living, breathing, real representation of Jesus Christ. In fact, if we take a look at Paul's letter to the Galatians, chapter 2, verse 20, Paul writes, "I have been crucified with Christ. It is no longer I who live, but Christ who lives in me. And the life I now live in the flesh, I live by faith in the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself for me." And so here Paul says that it's really no longer he that lives, but it's Christ who lives in him, who is living through him. Again, this is the great transformation that God wants to make in his people and is willing to make in his people if we want him to and we allow him to, that we can be transformed into this living image because it's actually Jesus living in his people and manifesting himself through his people in this world, so that it's Jesus living through us, Jesus loving through us, Jesus talking through us, Jesus hearing in us, and so forth. Jesus has become that real, that much in us, that it's actually him. And so, again, we not only bear the image and manifest the image of Jesus, but it's Jesus manifesting himself through his people. This is amazing. This is an amazing transformation, of course, that only God himself can do. But again, he's able to do it, and it's up to us who believe in him to want him to do that in us and make that happen, allow him to do it in us. And again, it's not just for us, it's for the sake of other people. Just as someone brought Jesus reality, Jesus himself to us, now that we know Jesus, we have that same calling to bring him to someone else, to let Jesus living in and through us speak to someone else, to love someone else, to hear someone else. So, in this season of Easter, where we're given the opportunity to share in the resurrection of Jesus Christ, to be brought to new life in Jesus Christ, let us continue to be conformed to this new life in such a way that Jesus himself not only lives in us, but through us. Those of us who believe in him, who love him, who seek to obey him. Let us be brethren of Jesus Christ. Thank you, and may God bless you.